Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思诗都还难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm your Honglin with Tony in the studio. Hi, Tony.
Hey, what's going on, Honglin? And hello to all of our listeners out there.
And I was thinking, you have a lot of shows here. You are hard to hunt down sometimes because you juggle too many bottles or too many bowls. So I was wondering, how often do you get requests that you feel like you don't want to or you can't deliver?
It's half and half. I mean, I think sometimes I am asked to do things and I'm okay with it. And then there are times where it's like, no, I don't want to do it, and the no's can be quite difficult.
And especially when the no is, no, I don't want to do it, not no, I really can't do it because time overlap or because of the schedule or because I really don't have that ability. I mean, those reasons I feel like are decent reasons I can give to others because that question bothered me as well.
Well, but even then, if you don't have the ability or you don't have the time, people can find ways around that, especially, I mean, considering where we work, sometimes people will move things around and say, oh, well, now you have time. Can you help here or something like that?
In those cases, I would actually help. The thing for me is if I can't help, it'll be easier for me to say I really can't. But if it's I don't want to, which is actually the scenario that I really, really should say no, I find it hard to say no. I feel like I don't want to do this. It's not a decent enough reason.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
And that is going to be a problem. But I have made my New Year resolution so many times. It's old year resolution so many times to learn to say no. And I feel like it's a good start to saying no or learning or sharing with you how to say no in Chinese first in this episode. Maybe that'd be a good start for me as well.
Not sure it'll help, but yeah, at least not here at work.
And at least it'll help you to say no in Chinese.
Right.
And for our dear listeners out there, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway. 你现在有空吗？可以帮我做最后的收尾工作吗？
恐怕不行，我手头上还有很多事情要处理。
我今晚去海南，再不走就赶不上飞机了。
不好意思，我现在真没时间。
那算了，我去问问其他人。你现在有空吗？可以帮我做最后的收尾工作吗？
恐怕不行，我手头上有很多事情要处理。
我今晚去海南，再不走就赶不上飞机了。
不好意思，我现在真没时间。
那算了，我去问问其他人。See, that is the situation. I don't know how to say no. Because the person is like saying, I am desperate, I need to go, and just, would you help me? And in that case, I would say, fine. Even though deep down, maybe I'm thinking, you should take care of your things before you plan a trip.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not your responsibility that this person may miss their flight. That
but
means that
in that scenario, this person makes me feel like it's my fault that they're missing their flight.
Right. That's right. And that's the thing. And I think that's
very sneaky.
It's a very sneaky way to displace the blame on someone when really it's their fault.
I feel like we can have a good discussion after talking about the language part, but let's learn the Chinese of this conversation first. 你现在有空吗？可以帮我做最后的收尾工作吗？
So this is, do you have any free time right now? Can you help me wrap up? So this is 你 is you, 现在 is now, 有 is have. 空, I think this is the free time.
Yes, 空 actually is vacancy or a space.
An opening, huh?
An opening. So we say 空余. 空余 is like open and free and left, some time left. 空余时间, you've got some time left, or in your free time, your own time. 空. We make it really short in 空. And of course, for our southerners here, we would say 有空吗?你有空吗? Put the R in after it.
Okay. And then 可以 is can you.
Can.
And then 帮 is help. And then 我 is me. And then 做 is do.
Do.
And then 最后,
最后.
is this like finish or end?
It's in the end. So 最后公主和王子幸福地生活在了一起. In the end, the prince and the princess live happily ever after. That's how a fairy tale always ends. So 最后 is in the end, at last.
Okay. And then so the ends with apostrophe S. 收尾.
收尾. It's a new word.
This is finish, right?
It is finish. 收 is like arrange, a little bit like arrange. 尾 is end, the tail, 尾巴, the tail of something. So 收尾 is like to wrap up, to take care of the very end of something.
Can we use this for like a meal?
You can use it for cooking a meal.
Okay.
So if it's cooking, it's like 收尾阶段. It's the very last stage.
So if you can ask somebody, 你收尾了吗?
No, you have to be specific about the things that you're 收尾 about.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Got it.
For instance, here 收尾工作, the work in the end. 我做饭到了收尾阶段. I'm cooking, but I'm at the very ending stage.
Okay.
Suggesting that I'll be quick. Now I'll do whatever you're asking a bit later. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that word definitely needs practice. And then 工作's
That's
work.
yep.
And then 嘛 is the question.
Yes. So here, both 最后 and 收尾 carries the meaning of last.
Yeah, it almost seems like you could just use one or the other, right?
Kinda, but that's the thing about Chinese. You've been learning Chinese for a while. I believe you have already noticed that sometimes there are some repetitive meanings in a sentence. But most often, these two repeating, almost feel like repeating meaning kind of word are towards slightly different direction, describing slightly different aspect of the thing. And also sometimes we just like to emphasize a little more. That's why we're repeating the same meaning with different expressions. And here, I feel like this person is trying to make you feel like it's really, really the very end of it. It won't take you so long. And trying to hide the fact that they're asking you to do their job. That's my understanding. And then we have part B saying 恐怕不行，我手上有很多事情要处理。
So this is, I'm afraid not. I have a lot on my plate at the moment. So 恐怕, I think this is afraid.
It is afraid, but it's not like I'm afraid of a snake kind of afraid. This is the I'm afraid I cannot do something kind of afraid.
Okay.
Or I'm afraid something might happen kind of afraid. For instance, you can say 今天恐怕要下雨. Actually saying I'm afraid
it will rain.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's going to rain. It's not like saying you're afraid of rainy days. It's like I'm afraid it'll happen. And there's also another example. 这恐怕不太安全.
不太安全 is not safe. Really not safe.
I'm afraid it's not safe for you to do this thing. So 恐怕, that's how you use 恐怕.
Okay. Cool. So 恐怕, I'm afraid. 不行. So is this can't do or?
Yes, I'm afraid. afraid not. I'm afraid I cannot do this.
Can we also
恐怕不
say
行。
恐怕不可以？不可以。
Works as well. And I feel like 恐怕 when you want to reject someone, you say 恐怕不行. You're also softening the tone a little bit using 恐怕.
Okay. I 手头上
手头上
This is an expression, a new one. I think this is like something that you have in your hands or
in your hands.
on your plate.
Yes, that's how you use it. And actually, if you just say 手上, that works as well.
手上
Yes, on my hand.
Okay.
On my 手头上, it's the same. It's the same.
头 that's not head, is it?
It's like the end of something.
Okay. So 我手头上 so my plate 有 is have 很多 means a lot,
A
right?
lot.
事情 I think that's things.
Things, stuff, matter
Okay. 要
that I have to
and then 处理
处理,
handle or-
handle or deal with. So I have a lot to do already.
Okay.
我今晚去海南，再不走就赶不上飞机了。
I'm leaving for Hainan tonight. I'll miss my flight if I don't leave now. So 我今晚 so was I 今晚 is tonight.
Tonight?
Chu is go. Hainan is a city
Yes.
by the beach.
Yes, it's a really nice city.
And then,
Gives me more reason to say no.
jeez. And then Zai, I think this almost implies the
Urgent
present continuous or
It's another 在. It carries the meaning that if I don't do something right now, something bad will happen. It implies that. For instance, if I say 我再不吃饭，食堂就关门了. If I don't go eat, the canteen will close. Or you can say 你再不做作业就太晚了. If you don't do your homework, it'll be too late. So this 在 you can't really translate it to any one word, but it carries the meaning of if you don't do this thing, something not good that might happen. So here it's saying 再不走就赶不上飞机了. If I don't go, I'll miss the flight.
okay.
不走
Buzo is like don't go.
don't go.
And then Jo here is then.
Then
And then Gan. I think this Gan here means like catch.
yes, 赶飞机 catch your flight, 赶火车 catch the train. 赶 carries the meaning of following or chasing after.
Okay. And Bu I think this
赶
is
不上
miss.
together.
Or is this miss?
Well, 赶不上 is miss. So
Okay.
赶不上
赶不
together
上
is the expression
And
miss.
then Feiji is plain, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can say 赶上了. It's like I caught it. I'm on time.
Oh,
赶不上
I didn't catch it.
didn't catch it.
Okay.
Or I couldn't catch it.
So it's together.
Yes.
Got it.
不好意思，我现在真没时间。
This is I'm sorry, but I really don't have time.
Yeah.
And it's 不好意思. This is like a set phrase too. It just means it's a polite way of
Excuse
saying I'm
me,
sorry.
sorry, yes.
Excuse me. And then 我 现在 is now. 真 is very. And then 没 is
Have no.
nothing or don't have.
Don't have.
And then 时间 is time.
Yes. 我真没时间. I really don't have time.
Oh, really? 真 really.
我真没时间。那算了，我去问其他人。
And this is, oh, well, never mind. I'll ask someone else.
Aha.
So, na is then, and then suanla. I think this is never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah. And then wa is I. Chu is this go.
Go.
And then one. I think this is, one is like a question.
Ask.
Qingwen is question, right?
Yes.
And then, but they just take the end of that Qingwen and just do one.
请 is like please. 请问 is I'm asking you. So please may I ask. So 问 itself carries the meaning of ask. And
Okay.
here 问问 is like I'll ask others.
Okay. And then qi ta, I think this is others.
Other
And then ren is people.
people. So I'll go ask other people. See if you refuse properly, you will succeed.
Yeah.
in saying no.
Right.
Right. So, any other questions?
No, I don't think so.
Then let's practice the conversation.
All right.
你现在有空吗？可以帮我做最后的收尾工作吗？
恐怕不行，我手头上有很多事情要处理。
我今晚去海南，再不走就赶不上飞机了。
不好意思，我现在真没时间。
那算了，我去问其他人。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Hongling, and Tony. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts by email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn, especially on the conversation. What do you think about refusing a request from others? Do you often receive the kind of request that you find hard to receive, but you really, really don't want to do? What's your tactic in saying no? All those can be very valuable to me personally, and also maybe we can share a little more expressions about refusing in Chinese. So coming up next, let's learn to say no in Chinese and maybe discuss how come in your life there are so many questions or so many requests that you'd like to say no to, but you find it hard. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Tony here in the studio. So about the conversation, Tony, do you receive such requests quite often? Someone dumping their work to you?
I wouldn't say it's very often. I just think that it does happen. And I feel that sometimes you do need to take on that responsibility and do it enough times to where you feel a certain way. And then after this happens repeatedly, then you will find that space in you to say no. I think that maybe from the beginning, it's not so good. I think you should try to extend yourself sometimes to help.
Yeah, that's what I believe as well.
Right. But I think everyone reaches their threshold to the point where they have to evolve from being that yes person and be able to switch it on and off to, no, this time I'm not going to do it. And then other times, again, if time and the energy permits, then you say yes. But having that ability to go from, I think, both realms is really important and healthier.
I totally agree. And I think for a lot of people, especially Chinese people, in the sense, because we really do have a lot of way of saying no, but many of those ways contain the word of I can't instead of I don't want to. When we say we don't want to, we always would express that as I can't, I don't have the ability, because saying no is considered not that polite according to, I think, most Chinese people's mentality. And for instance, you say 请你帮我完成这件事情, please help me finish this. When you say no, or when I say no, I would always say 我不好意思，我真的确做不了, I really just can't do it. I seldom would say 我不想帮你, I don't want to help you. I don't even think it's I've ever heard of it in my entire life. I've never heard of someone saying I don't want to do this for you.
I don't think that it needs to be worded in that way, though.
Right?
Personally. But I do think that you could say that, yeah, I'm very tired. I've been, I've got, just like this example, I think it's perfect. I have a lot on my plate. I could do it, but it would put strain on me, and I don't want to do that.
And the funny thing is, we do have some expressions that would reject someone and almost make them angry. For instance, there's this saying, 想得美.
想得美.
想 is think. 的 you would put a word after 的 to describe 想, to describe the verb, and 美 is beautiful. So you wish. You would think something nice. I would not help you. You're only imagining me helping you, and you're making that picture very beautiful, but I'm not going to help you. So 想得美 means that.
Oh, it almost sounds like a beautiful thought. But
no. It doesn't mean a beautiful thought. It means you are thinking wishfully. It won't happen. It's your wishful thinking. 想得美. It's not nice at all. And there's another one. 你做梦吧.
你做梦的
你做梦吧。
梦吧
Go wish for it. Go dream for it. Go having a daydream about it.
Oh, dream on. We say that in English. Oh, dream on. Which is, yeah, it was pretty nasty though.
Yeah, I know. It's not a good way of saying no to your friend. It's a good way to say no to your enemy. Make them feel worse.
Yeah, I think if you're really, but we can also use it in a
Joking kind
in
of
a
way.
joking kind of way where it's not too bad. But if the person really wants you to do something,
That's not nice.
it wouldn't be the right way.
And there's a worse one. 没门儿.
没门儿 没门
没门. No door.
No door. Oh,
My
wow.
room is close to you. There's no door.
Oh, I guess that's just no way.
No
in
way,
English.
yes.
Yeah, no
yes,
way.
no way in English. That's the thing. For all these kind of expressions of saying no, I don't think they're really saying no. It's like almost joking. It's almost like, for example, you're having a cake in the office and you want someone to have more, have more. You're just making it a great and generous offer.
Right.
And the other one saying, 没门儿, no way, I'm not going to eat so much. I have to leave something for others. That kind of saying no. So you're not really saying no to a request. You're just rejecting something good.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are the expressions that would help you in those kind of circumstances.
So if it's a lighthearted situation, it works.
Exactly.
But if it's a serious situation and you use it, it's pretty rude. Right?
Pretty rude. So I would still go for the one in the conversation as 恐怕不行, I'm afraid not. And you can also say 可能不行.
可能 this
不
is
行.
possible.
Yes, possibly or probably. But remember, keep in mind, if you're in China, someone say 可能不行, maybe not. They're not saying maybe not. They're saying no. It's just a polite way of saying no. I'm trying to reject softly.
Okay. And I think sometimes this soft rejection still it ensues sometimes more requests because there's a little door, right? 可能 means maybe, right?
But if you say no door, it's just really rude. 没门儿, really rude.
Sometimes you have to do that.
And
yeah.
of course, there's the other one is 我考虑考虑.
我考虑考虑
Let me think. I'll think about it. I'll continue thinking about it. They're not thinking about it. They're just saying no.
That just means I'll delay my answer, and if it's urgent, then the person will just move on. Right?
Exactly. That's how it's done. So again, that's the thing about Chinese people. Sometimes we, or at least I myself, people like me would find it hard to deal with confrontational situations. We find it hard to say no to others.
That's so surprising. I mean, I just feel like you would be able to, because you're so articulate and you can communicate so well.
But the no is a no.
Yeah, but it just
In
seems
the
like
end, it's
all
a
those
no.
words in that head of yours, that pretty head of yours, and you can't find the right ones to say no.
And another thing about saying no is that sometimes when I say no for the first time, and when they change their request to something else or asking for a smaller thing, all of my strength and courage to say no for the first time almost put me in an impossible position to say no for the second time. So if you, for those of you who are listening, don't do this to me, but if you really want me to do something, you can ask for a very excessive thing that you don't really want. And when I say no, you can ask for the real thing that you want, and I'll always say yes.
Well, you're giving.
I know.
Yeah, you're giving
My
people,
weakness.
Yeah, your strategy on how to get you to do something you don't want to do.
But isn't that what happens to you?
At this point, I think if you're consistent and you say no, then those requests diminish. But there was a time when I would always say yes when the big request would come, and then a smaller one would come, and then the smaller one would become the big one anyway. And so people take your kindness for a weakness.
Yeah.
And so at some point you're going to have to put your foot down. And then eventually, once you do that, it's remembered.
It's remembered, and more people started to realize the importance of saying no. That is why in China we started to have these kind of topics and expressions like 拒绝的艺术, the art to refuse.
Ooh.
拒绝的艺术 it means, I mean, of course, refusing someone would not make them happy. But if you do it correctly, at least you won't make them feel so bad.
Right.
And also, we say 学会说不, learn to say no. It's more commonly talked about than you would think. Many people feel like they are, at least they have this people-pleasing side. It's hard to, and I don't think it's right that you want to ignore everyone's opinion towards you. Don't think it's right. But sometimes you would learn to stop trying to please everybody.
Yes, that is something that is a switch that we need to turn off because it's something that we're hardwired to have from childhood.
Yeah.
When you're a child, we want to be equal. We want to be seen as the same. We want everyone's approval, and that follows us into the workplace as well. So
Yes.
a huge challenge.
And in that sense, hopefully more and more of you would learn to say no. If you can learn to say no in Chinese in different ways, that'll be even better. And try to focus more on yourself. Stop being the yes person. Start to learn to say no, because more often than you think, your feeling is more important. And pleasing others will not actually make people like you. And not being able to say no would not people who you help appreciate your help that much. Yeah, since we're on that subject, Tony, for today, if you'd like to choose some words in the future to say no to people in Chinese, which words would you use?
没码儿.
See, you chose the one that'll piss people off.
Or 恐怕不可以.
恐怕不可以, that is a good one. And when you say 恐怕不可以, sometimes give them a reason would help, but sometimes I feel like just say 恐怕不可以.
我非常累.
我非常累, I'm too tired. Yeah, that works. 恐怕不可以, 我非常累.